Just snap your fingers and they'll come around. Why are you picking on me? I'm well aware of this game you've learned. Love 'em and leave and show no concern. And tomorrow you'll find another candle to burn. So why are you picking on me? Love 'em and leave and show no concern. And tomorrow you'll find another candle to burn. So why are you picking on me? Why are you picking on me? choice of guys in town. Why are you picking on me? Just snap your fingers and they'll come around. Why are you picking on me? I'm well aware of this game you've learned. Love 'em and leave and show no concern. And tomorrow you'll find another candle on me. Just snap your fingers and they'll come around.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Hi there.
We're playing some crazy music while we get our teas and start up Strings Attached at Home today, the 29th of January. We'd love for you to drop your thoughts in below, what you're doing in your part of the world. Where do you live? Drop that in below. What city, what country? If you're wondering what this music is, this is the Scythian Suite by Prokofiev, which premiered January 29th, 1916. And I'm going to tell the story of this piece here in a minute. If it sounds somewhat reminiscent, type in the comments, what other composer do you think it sounds like? So we'll just get our bearings here. Karen, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking chai tea in my seafoam green cup.
I'm going to pull up.
Steam coming off.
I'm pulling up the Friends Attached group so I can see who's watching and do a couple shout outs. We're glad to be here. We're listening to the music of Prokofiev on this evening in Austin, Texas. I'm working on my low voice, even though the mic's way over there. I'm projecting the radio voice. How does it sound? How are you guys doing out there tonight? Glad we've got 2 comments here on our Strings Attached page. We have Allison Coleman. Oh my, I love this. Hey, Allison. We've got a show for you tonight. We've got our musical history bits, our trivia, original songs, jazz, Celtic music. What else? Did I miss anything? We have a special request.
We do. We are fulfilling a special request tonight.
If you come every week, you can put in requests of songs that you'd like to hear. How you doing, Audrey?
Hi, Audrey.
Up in the Northeast there. Let me see. Do you remember where Audrey lives?
Is it New Jersey?
It's close. Audrey lives in upstate New York. Am I right, Audrey?
That's a lot of territory.
So it's about 6 minutes till top of the hour. We have wonderful, wonderful weather down here. Tomorrow it's going to be in the high 70s.
77 tomorrow.
For Strings in the Woods this weekend. And we take people out for a hike and music out in the open under the sky. This beautiful piece of music, it's just amazing to think it was written by young Prokofiev in 1916. This story basically, he was summoned to London by the famous ballet impresario, and he wanted to commission this young composer to write a ballet with a prehistoric or fairy tale scenario, hoping perhaps for the same kind of success that had been enjoyed by Stravinsky with The Rite of Spring. Mm-hmm. So after Prokofiev came back to his person who commissioned it, the ballet impresario, he was not happy with it. And he said...
He's not happy?
He was rejected. And he said, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll commission you to write another piece. So, go ahead, here's some money, I'm going to go ahead and write another piece. But Prokofiev was so pleased with the themes in this original ballet that he put together a suite. So we're listening to the suite that he put together from that original piece called the Scythian Suite. And here's some interesting information about it. It's centered on a theme of a prehistoric tribe of barbarians, the Scythians, known to drink blood and engaged in other similarly gruesome practices. So it's, again, it's kind of similar to the rite of spring. And now we lost our internet. This piece. We like to bring you music that we enjoy to turn you on to the tree of life of music. The many branches that go off in all these different directions. We're all related to one another. So also on this day, Bob Dylan. You want to play some music on the mandolin? Because I lost my music.
Oh, yeah, you lost your music.
Yeah. Bob Dylan achieved his dream of meeting his idol, Woody Guthrie. When Guthrie was on a weekend release from hospital where he was being treated for Huntington's chorea. And James Javerson, the famous bass player, was born on this day in 1938. Played with the Funk Brothers and many Motown hits, Temptations, Marvin Gaye, the Four Tops. And, unfortunately he died very young, 45 years old, in 1983. That's James Jamerson. Anybody know some James Jamerson hits out there? He played that really funky bass. It was really nice.
Yeah.
That funk bass. Lived only 45 years of age. So the next section we're going to talk about is letters and comments. And if you just arrived, we're glad to be here. We're here every Friday and Saturday. Friday, 8 o'clock Chicago time. Saturday, we are on for a replay for our folks in Africa. It's 9 o'clock in Africa and 1 o'clock Chicago time on Saturdays. We appreciate your support, every single one of you. We love you so much for the tips, for the patronage. Those of you who signed up to be a patron, it's at patreon.com/Will Taylor. Or you can make a tip tonight. $1,000 or less is totally fine with us. Helps us pay our bills and our food and keep making the music that we do week in, week out. How do you do that, you ask? You go to live.stringsattached.org. I'll bring it up here. And another way, if you want to get something in return for your tip, you can go to the Karen and Will store, which is down there or up there, where there's all kinds of cool things like original custom songs, vignettes, CDs. You can tip. We do music lessons, we do consultations, we do mentoring, just lots of things. You can make something up and we'll do it for you. I just had somebody tonight texting me about writing a song for their husband for Valentine's Day.
Great idea.
So here's a letter. And here's another thing. House concerts. Outdoor. We can do outdoor house concerts in your front or backyard for friends, and we can social distance. This is something you can do right now. So I want to read a letter that harkens back to the time when we were playing house concerts in small rooms, cooped up like sardines with anywhere from 10 to 50 people. And matter of fact, the last couple of years, it was a major source of income, was doing house concerts. It was an interesting movement. When did that begin? Do you remember? The whole house concert scene, was it like in the 2000-ish or
yeah,
right
in the
before
2000s.
that? Yeah.
Mid-2000s, I would say.
The whole culture kind of rose up for this, and it's a beautiful model. So here's a letter from a fan that came to one of our house concerts in 2005. What is that, 15 years ago? So it was already a pretty good night. CC and I were headed up 183 in the convertible, screaming with the music, laughing, pounding to Led Zeppelin on our way to the house concert. The songs of Simon and Garfunkel were promised. We met our friends, got amazing foot rubs from the multifaceted Steve Zirkle, laughed and sang in our hearts and memories to the tunes Will Taylor and Strings Attached presented. In a metamorphosizing set, it is the most magical thing to be in a room with musicians who are not only talented but exuberant, with a crowd that is expectant and ready for transformation, energizing the atmosphere with simple words that resonate so completely we are captivated, catapulted, capitulated into a viola extravaganza. Caught up in the pounding of that oh-so-simple box, Matt persuades percussively to make us move, mesmerizing us with his voice. Mark and Amy delight in the line list vocals, each arriving somewhere familiar yet totally new. It was all so easy The arrangement choices that make one laugh, placed so thoughtfully where the familiar would have floated past, these new moments linger a bit longer. So joyous, so fun. It's a pleasure to join you anytime for music. No time for interviews, we bolted, having to get back to town. And yet we detoured briefly into the Krispy Kreme drive-thru, and we switched to cream sailing with seat heaters back with strange brew blaring. Good vibrations. That's what your concerts are, Will. Have you ever done the Beach Boys? I'll keep spreading the word. You guys just keep it up, working hard at playing fantastically and keeping it effortless. It's a pleasure to absorb. I'm deliriously tired, but going to bed happy. Thanks. Tina, from 2005, a house concert experience. And we're still here, alive, ready to come play for you.
That's so
house
great.
concerts. Or you can come hear us in Austin, Texas, and have an experience like that from one of our fans from 2005.
Or a cul-de-sac concert.
You know, Rebecca, I'm glad you're here. Eric Johnson, how are you doing? Or a cul-de-sac concert, yes. So, we'll move into the show now. Karen's going to do one of her songs now.
Yes, I sure am.
Take it away.
I'm going to play a song for you that is, it's about the most candidly unretouched autobiographical song that I have in my songwriting repertoire, and it's called Hemingway Street. It's named after the place where I grew up. A corner lot on Hemingway Street, next door to where my grandmother lived. It was my parents' wedding gift, so they built a house to raise 3 kids. The biggest house, the biggest lot of any other on the street. They built a fence, they bought the things they were told a young family would need. Baseball Saturdays and fresh cut grass, the air smelled loud and green. Windex and Clorox and Lemon Pledge kept us disinfected and clean. Bicycle rides with apricot nectar and a turquoise banana seat. Pulaski Park was 3 blocks away at the end of our dead-end street. And there was music and dance and art museums, but they might as well have been across the sea. Never went far on foot or by car from our house on Hemingway Street. Da 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 da. In my backyard on Hemingway Street was a pool and a mulberry tree. I waited all week until my dad had the time to go swimming with me. Mother in her one-piece suit, too beautiful to swim, copper tone and baby oil to toast her olive skin. New York City was 2 hours away, but it might as well have been across the sea. No, we never went far on foot or by car from our house on Hemingway Street. Bloom where you are planted. That's what my mother said to me, why would anybody leave? And Austin, Texas is a plane ride away, but it might as well be halfway to the moon. No, they never go far, not by plane nor by car. No, they hardly ever leave their living room. In the house on the dead-end street, in our house at 3 Hemingway Street.
Nice. All right.
True story.
Cool. What do we have next?
We have the featured artist of the week for you today. We'd like to feature a great songwriter that we admire. And this week we decided to honor one of our wonderful supporters. Patrons, yes, named Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. We have a song for you. Bet you didn't think we'd do it. The writer of this song has had his songs recorded by Pete Seeger, Bob Dylan, The Weavers, Judy Collins, Sandy Denny, Joan Baez, Doc Watson,
Wow.
Harry Belafonte,
Yeah.
Peter, Paul and Mary, The Seekers, Marianne
Superband.
Faithfull, the Kingston Trio, the Chad
And,
Mitchell Trio,
Washington.
John Denver, Dolly Parton and Porter Wagner, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Flatt and Scruggs, and many more. Can you believe that list, Will?
It's crazy.
Huge list.
Wow.
And the songwriter is called Tom Paxton. And Tom showed up in the 60s in the Greenwich Village folk music revival. And he became an advocate for folk singers to combine traditional songs with original compositions. He was kind of right on the ground floor of that movement and hung out with all those people, Bob Dylan and Pete Seeger and everybody. And Tom Paxton also became involved with causes that promoted human rights, civil rights, and labor rights. Will's gonna sing along with me on this. This is for you, Rebecca. Peace will come, and let it begin with me. We need peace, and let it begin with me. Oh, my own life is all I can hope to control. Oh, let my life be lived for the good of my soul. Let it bring peace, sweet peace. Peace will come, and let it begin with me. peace will come, and let it begin with me. Peace, peace will come, and let it begin with me. Yeah, thanks, Tom Paxton. Tom Paxton talks about how he learned from Pete Seeger that maybe one of the most important things in a song is to give the people a chorus to sing along to. That
Oh, wow.
got to give them something to sing along to. So this is a great example of that. I got to play with Tom Paxton.
Oh, you do? You're going to tell your story?
And I don't know. There's so many stories to tell about
True, there are.
Tom Paxton.
There you go, Rebecca.
There you go,
She
Rebecca.
says, I'm in tears. I love you. That's what I'm known for saying.
Yeah, Tom Paxton came to the town that I was living in Fish Creek, Wisconsin. And this is back in 1994. I had really just started to play the mandolin. Just like barely could play it. I started on guitar and then switched kind of to mandolin. And he came through town and he said, I'm coming through town. And he asked the manager at the theater, do you know some local musicians who can accompany me?
Nice.
I mean, that was a great way of not traveling with the band.
Yeah.
He would just get to the town where he was going and say, who's the great guitar player there? Or who's the great player there who could accompany me? And
Nice.
Here's my new record. And so my good friend Doc Heidi and I showed up at the auditorium.
Oh, Doc got to do it with you too?
Well, it was Doc's gig.
Oh, I see.
They asked Doc, because they're like, oh, the guitar player in town, that would be Fred Heidi. They asked Doc to do it. And Doc,
Yeah.
amazing, wonderful friend that he is,
Yeah.
he said, well, I know this really great mandolin player who could sing amazing female harmony vocals too. How about we put her in there? I mean, he just brought me into the
And
the
then did
gig.
you both do
So
it?
sweet.
So it was a trio?
Yeah, it was a trio.
Nice.
With Tom Paxton. It was
1980.
unbelievable.
94.
And so I hit the
Cool.
stage, I hit the rehearsal, and walked on the stage. It was a big, 600-seat theater. And he said to me, anything you feel like playing on, go ahead and play. Anything you feel like singing on, go ahead and sing. And it was just so generous and magnanimous. It was a beautiful concert, and I was just starting to solo on the mandolin, and we were huddled back there in the green room in rehearsal. I don't know if I've told you this story.
No.
We're huddled back there, and he was playing a song, and I think it was one of his great hits, Bottle of Wine. You know it? It was a great hit for him. Someone else made it more famous, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And so he nodded to me, like, take a solo.
Big solo.
And I started to play, and I was all nervous and kind of tentative, and he says, stop. He says, okay, now I want you to take a solo there, and I'm gonna need you to just really go for it, dig in, and not be tentative. And if you
Nice.
don't want to take a solo, then it's fine. But
Right.
I want you to really just go
Rip it.
for it. And there was this moment in my life, this like crossroads moment,
Yeah.
where I felt like, darn it, I am sitting around this table with Tom Paxton.
Yeah.
And this is like a now or never moment. I am going to just go for it and take a risk and really just
Totally.
dig into this moment in
Yeah.
time. And I rose to the occasion and played a decent solo, and Tom nodded at me and gave me a word of approval. And it
Nice.
was one of those moments in life where I just
Rose to the moment.
picked up my bootstraps and
Yeah. And you were so young.
played the show, and I was so young. It was so
Agreed.
formative. And I've seen Tom many times over the years at the folk music conferences and things, and he always remembers me. Always.
Wow. And he's
Yeah.
still out there doing it, right?
He's still out there. He's
still-
83 years
Yeah.
old, and he is still out there doing it, writing just amazing melodies.
was so nice that we could bring that for Rebecca alive.
Yeah, no, we pulled it together, didn't we?
And for those of you who are watching, if you'd like to hear something from us on next week's
What's
show,
up, bro?
all you have to do is just send
What's
us
up,
a message.
bro? I
what
know
you'd
where
like
you
to
get
hear,
that.
and we'll see what we can do.
I won't tell you, but I know. Careful.
We're going to do another song of Thomas.
Yes, we
Where
are.
do I get it from?
From another person in the community.
Well, we do have this one quote from Judy Collins that I thought you might like to read.
Okay. Tom Paxton's songs are so
I'm not your
powerful,
bro, I'm your
lyrical,
dad.
written from the heart and conscious.
What does
They
that mean,
reach their
brother?
mark.
Bro,
Our most
Can
inner
you go play
being.
with Zyla, please?
He writes sterling songs
I'm
of social
really doing
protest
something
and
right.
gentle songs of love, each woven together with his personal gift for language. His melodies haunt, his lyrics reverberate.
I like your
I
background.
have sung
I'm in the middle of
Tom
something.
songs
Thank
for
you.
decades
Okay, thank
and
you.
will go
Bye.
on doing
Thanks
so
for
in the new
Thanks
century.
for saying thank
For they are beautiful and timeless and meant for every age. Judy Collins.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave.
That's for sure. And here's one of my favorites from Tom. It's a long and dusty road, a hot and heavy load. The people I meet aren't always kind. Some are bad and some are good. Some are doing the best they could. Some have tried to ease my trouble in mind. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. I have traveled all around this land, just doing the best I can, trying to find what I was meant to do. And the people that I see, they seem as worried as can be. And I think maybe they are wondering too. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. Well, I had me a buddy back home, but he started out to roam. Now I hear he's out by Frisco Bay. And sometimes when I've had a few, his sweet voice comes singing through. And I'm going out to see him some old day. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. Well, I had me a lover one time. He had lips like sherry wine. He loved me till my head went plumb insane. But I was too blind to see he was drifting away from me. And my darling, he left on the morning train. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. Well, if you see me passing by and you stop and wonder why, and you wish that you were a rambler too, nail your shoes to the kitchen floor and lace them up and lock the door.
Thank your stars for the roof that's over you. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. No, I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound.
That's for you, Rebecca. Our first patron of December. Thank you, Rebecca, for all your support
Thank you,
and your
Rebecca.
love and being here in the community of Friends Attached.
Hey, it's time for
It is.
my trivia portion. This is called This Day in History, as
Okay.
opposed to This Day in Music History. But this is actually a music trivia question. Will, are you ready?
I'm ready. I have to figure it out, right? Yeah.
After the Weavers got blacklisted during the Red Scare of the 50s, they left a split between political folk music, which had no chance for commercial success, and entertaining folk music that was utterly apolitical. So there was a guy called Albert Grossman who believed that he could bridge that divide with a group whose youthful good looks and non-threatening demeanor would make subtly political folk music acceptable within the popular mainstream.
Of course.
Now, what is the name of this group who signed on January 29th, this day in history, in 1962? They signed their first record contract.
62?
Yes.
Huh. Was it a trio? Wait, how many members in the band were there? Let's get some comments. Who wants to make a guess?
Now, this
I'll
was
read
a
the comments.
deliberate attempt to combine the brilliance of Pete Seeger's songwriting with the Kingston Trio's non-threatening folk music.
But Pete Seeger was not in the band. It's just that's the
No,
idea.
he was not. No, these were people that had never played together before. They were all in that Greenwich Village scene in the
Okay.
60s, and these three people were groomed to form a band
Okay. And
together.
is there two men and one woman?
Maybe.
No, tell me this.
Are you
Maybe?
Guess
Yeah.
What's your guess? What's your guess?
Peter, Paul, and Mary?
Yes, it's true.
That's what I was thinking.
First record contract. But I thought it was really interesting. They had not ever played together before.
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
And they were groomed by this fellow, Albert Grossman, who thought, I'm going to get some really attractive, crowd-pleasing, non-threatening people to kind of sneak in the political message. Like, these people weren't even songwriters. They were
Right.
not writing the material. They were
Wow.
They were writing, in fact, they covered Pete Seeger songs and all kinds of things, but he groomed them to be the hit folk trio that they
That's really cool.
actually went on to become. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Isn't that interesting?
Wow. Never knew that. And I was on this day. It's
on
really
this
cool.
day.
We can always find something on our Fridays that's of note. Many
Yeah.
things of note
Many
in
things
music, and it's
of
great to
note.
share these, with you folks out there.
And
Wow.
now it's time for a video.
Yes, now we're going to go to From the Vault. This is a artist that goes back in early strings attached history working with us. One of the first artists who is very well known here in Austin. Her name is Eliza Gilkison. She's a consummate poet, artist, singer-songwriter,
Human.
human being. And this is a show that was at a church where we did a lot of our concerts. Downtown Austin, gorgeous acoustics. It's called St. David's Episcopal Church, and we had a film crew come in for the Austin Music Network at the time and film this whole show, which was with Eliza Gilkison and Slade Cleaves. And this is the song by Eliza called Easy Rider. The first line is, "Born by the light of a double-faced moon." You know what the next part is?
It's gorgeous.
Sucking on a bottle with a silver spoon.
So gorgeous.
Yeah. I'd be curious on what you guys think that means. Born by the light of a double-faced moon. What do you think she means by that? All right, so you'll see a little introduction for the Austin Music Network, and then the song will come.
Born by the light of a double-faced moon, sucking on a bottle and a silver spoon. It's a long way to Jordan when you're carrying a tune. Easy rider. Golden boy can't do no wrong. Heading out west with $1 and a song. In those Hollywood hills where I belong. Easy rider. Farther along, easy rider. We'll understand it by and by. Farther along, easy rider. Live in the sunshine by and by. The Jubilee Four and the Greenwood crew, the Wellington boys from Hullabaloo. Everybody wanna love you, but they couldn't get through. Easy rider. Betrayal sealed with a lover's kiss. Your memories were made of this. You wanna numb the pain and you can't resist. Easy rider. Farther along, easy rider. We'll understand it by and by. Farther along, easy rider. Live in the sunshine by and by. You paid your money and you took your ride. Somewhere along the way you let the whole thing slide. Left you standing empty-handed at the riverside. Easy rider. Now I miss the talking sweet and sad. I miss the kind of love we almost had. I know the devil drove my father, but the Lord got daddy. Farther along, easy rider. We'll understand it by and by. Farther along, easy rider.
back. Alright, so that was from the year 2003 and beautiful concert series. It's so heartwarming to think 17 years ago he saw me up there playing the viola and with our good friend Charles Pruitt, Eddie Hobazal on piano, Steven Zirkel, who's still our good friend here in Austin, Texas on the harmony vocals, and Jason McKenzie on the tabla. All good people that we'll still play with here in Austin. And the church was packed back in 2003. Such a different time. And we missed that. But we'll be back. So Karen
Yes.
is going to do another one of her originals here.
Oh, do I do this in G?
And G? Yeah. G? Okay. Didn't this song make it to the finals in Kerrville Folk Festival?
Yeah. It did.
New folk.
Yeah, I'll talk about that after.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
We had 50 cents between us. We asked a blind man for advice. I only wish he could have seen us take our chances, roll the dice. We were richer than the Pharaoh, we were poorer than we knew. Loved you, baby, to the marrow, made the leap that lovers do. Falling, falling, we were falling. I took a bus to Ogallala, where we used to hang around. I don't know what I hoped to find there. Maybe peace or solid ground. I showed a bartender your picture. He said you'd gone, left town, no address to forward. Sorry, gravity come pull me down. Falling, falling, I'm falling. If you ever tumble, darling, I will catch you when you fall. I have made it to the bottom. Can you hear me when I call? Falling, 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 falling. I'm falling, I'm falling.
want to tell us a little bit about that song? How did it end up?
Yes, that was
Being in the
that was
finals.
actually my first song that made it into the finals at the Kerrville New Folk competition. Back in 2000, I had just landed in Austin, and I heard about this Kerrville Folk Festival. I entered my 2 songs in the festival. They were on a cassette tape, really, in those days.
Yeah.
Like a little cassette tape that I put in the mail that Rod Kennedy listened to. And the significance really is that this song and the other song that I paired with it were my first 2 songs, basically. Like, I just started to write songs. I'd been a musician and an actor and a lot of things for a long time, but I had just started to write songs. And so here were my first really 2 songs that I entered in the contest, and to be selected as a finalist was just a huge boost for me, and really life-changing of the trajectory of my life, to be welcomed into that community of songwriters. And I didn't win the contest that year, but it's a good thing I didn't, because if I had won and had to do the winner's concert, I wouldn't even have had enough material to play a whole set worth of
Yeah.
songs,
Wow. Right.
actually.
Wow.
But it was, that song particularly has been like a calling card that I've kept my whole career, because it came to me early on, and it was a co-write with Fred Alley. And
wow.
yeah, it came like a little gift.
Sweet. It's real simple. Three verses.
Yeah, structurally it's very
Right.
simple.
If you
Yeah,
look
and it
at
has that
lyrics.
minor 5 chord, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot. Oh, you have the lyrics right there
Yeah. I
in
was
front of
looking
you.
at it. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, pretty economical, lyrically speaking. Always try for economical
Yep.
efficiency.
Little slight changes each time the verse goes by. With the falling, that's nice.
Thanks.
We were falling, I'm falling, and then just falling.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep. And the
All intentional.
line falls
Right.
down
Yep.
lyrically.
We're so glad you're here for Strings Attached at Home, featuring the songs of Karen Mall. And if you want to make a tip, that's how you do it. And see our store if you'd like to have us for a house concert. There's a lot of ways that you can support the work of Karen Mall, Will Taylor, and Strings Attached. Come back and listen to our videos. There's a lot of content all over Spotify. You can find us easily. Follow us on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, Instagram, all those places. That helps. But it really helps if you put a few bucks down on this tip area down here.
It helps
Or-
us buy food.
Yeah, or have us write a custom song or a custom musical vignette for your Valentine's sweetheart that is coming up. And in fact, we have a contest going on right now for Friends Attached members where they can win. We are on day 7. So click on over to Friends Attached and click on announcements, and you'll see the contest where you can win a song by Karen or a vignette by myself. So we're going to continue on to our sort of Celtic, old world repertoire.
We're going to feature Will Taylor on the violin on this little medley.
Are we doing the intro?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
When I was apprenticed in Belfast, I went to see my dear.
The candles they were burning, the moon shone bright and clear. I knocked upon his window to ease him of his pain. He rose to let me in, and then he barred the door again. Oh, I like your good behavior, darling, thus I often say, and I cannot rest contented while you are far away. The winds, they are so cold that we cannot stay there out. So roll me in your arms, love, and blow the candles out. Now father and mother in yonder room do lie, a-hugging one another, so why not you and I, a-hugging one another without a fear or doubt. So roll me in your arms, love, and blow the candles out. Well, I pray thee speak more softly of what we are to do, lest our noise of talking makes us our pleasure rue. The streets, they are so nigh, love, the people walk about. They may look in and spy, love, so blow the candles out. And if we prove successful, I will name it after thee. I'll treat it neat and kiss it sweet and daft it on my knee. When your 3 years are over, your time it will be out. So roll me in your arms, my love, and blow the candles out.
All right, Blow the Candles, ending with The Musical Priest. Beautiful voice, Karen. Beautiful. Sound beautiful on that.
Thank you. You
So we have one more song to play for you guys tonight. For everyone out there
But you can't guess what it is.
in the world.
Coming out of left field,
Yep,
right?
very. Yes, it's so true. We're so glad you came out with us tonight. We're here every Friday, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Chicago time, 9 p.m. Africa time on Saturdays. Please visit our store. It's below in the description. Find something. If you make a donation of $20 or more, you get a surprise gift in the mail. That's all in the store. So click on the store, and then click on tips, and there's different options there. $20 or more gets you a bonus in the mail. That helps us pay for our groceries. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm Will Taylor, and this is Karen. We are Strings Attached at Home today. Are you ready?
Do we remember what episode this is?
I don't know. It's like 40,
Been
maybe?
doing this every week since March
Yeah.
13th, right?
Yep, this might be episode, getting up to about 40. Wow. It's gone by so quick.
So quick and so slow all at the same time. I met my old lover in the street last night. She seemed so glad to see me, I just smiled. And we talked about some old times, and we drank ourselves some beers. Still crazy after all these years. Oh, still crazy after all these years. I'm not the kind of man who tends to socialize. I seem to lean on old familiar ways. And I ain't no fool for love songs that linger in my ears. Still crazy after all these years. Oh, still crazy after all these years. 4 in the morning, tapped out, yawning, longing my life away. But I'll never worry. Why should I? It's all gonna fade. Yeah. Now I sit by my window and I watch the cars. I know I'll do some damage one fine day, but I would not be convicted by a jury of my peers. Still crazy after all these years. Oh, still crazy. Still crazy. I'm still crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm still crazy after
Are you crazy?
all these years.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for being with us.
We love you. We're
We
so
love
glad
you
you
so
guys
much.
come to see us every week.
We'll see you next week.
Have a great night. Sleep well. And we'll be on live tomorrow at 9 o'clock
And do stay in touch.
South African time. Do stay in touch. Make some comments. We love to see them. Love you all. Here we go. 2, 3.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. You've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got troubles, I've got them too. There isn't anything that I wouldn't do for you. We stick together and we see it through. 'Cause you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe. But none of them could ever love you the way I do. It's just me and you. And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny, 'cause you've got a friend in me. Oh, you've got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe. But none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's just me and you. And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. 'Cause you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me.
Chickens are outside, and you might like our performance.
Well, can't say much for climbing this tree. This is as far as I can get. Squishy, squishy egg.
Oh, tell about the egg again.
Okay, so this egg was a prepping egg. It's not a wooden egg. From a baby chick.
So at least you know I just got up there at the end. Okay. Now forget you heard that. So it comes as a complete surprise.
Well, you got to shake it in a circular motion, shake it in a circular motion, like a boat out on the ocean. You got to shake it in a circular, you got to shake it in a circular, you got to shake it in a circular motion, shake it in a circular motion. Lots of ways to start a commotion when you shake it in a circular. You got to shake it in a circular. Don't you worry, don't you hurry. We got all night long. My mama said if you shake it in a circular, you grow up nice and strong. Well, you got to shake it in a circular motion, shake it in a circular motion. Lots of ways to start a commotion when you shake it in a circular motion. Stella, let me tell you what's got me grinning ear to ear. I just wanna gyrate to the music of your spheres. Well, you got to shake it in a circular motion, shake it in a circular motion. Baby makes your own lotion when you shake it in a circle. You gotta shake it in a circular motion, shake it in a circular motion. Like boat out on the ocean, gotta shake it in a circular motion.
Some other folks might be a little smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's just me and you, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. 'Cause you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me.
Well, we're really excited today to have these two wonderful Austin musicians with us in our home studio, kind of virtually. We have Will Taylor and Karen Mall. They're two fantastic, amazing musicians that live in Austin, I believe South Austin, and just really excited to have them on the show. So welcome, guys.
Hey, nice to see you guys.
So we wanted to have you guys on the show. Will submitted a bunch of beautiful videos. They're very nicely done. I believe that you're probably making those in-house. And the thing that really got my eye was the bridge videos. Of course, it's so beautiful. So why don't we I want you to just tell us a little about that bridge experience first.
Like how it got started?
Yeah.
How you got away with it?
How do I get away with it exactly? There's even at one point there's a cop that goes by, right in front of the cameras and doesn't even look, care that what's going on. I was really surprised actually, because we were actually breaking, I think, a city ordinance at that time. Blocking the thoroughfare with people being able to go through there. But I had an idea, actually, back at South by Southwest, there was a band. It was a bunch of kids that played instruments. I'm spacing out. You know what I'm talking about, Guy?
Oh, shoot.
You know what I'm talking about? The string instruments, and they play...
Leather Falcon, yes.
Yeah, so they had a secret show under a bridge in downtown Austin, and it was a 100-year-old bridge. It was a gorgeous scene, and it was completely acoustic. I was like, we've got to do that. And it went so well that we said, we got to do this right the second time when the sun is great and people are out, and film it and capture that beauty and just the whole Austin vibe and just the whole idea of a flash mob, just happening and people coming upon a joyful event.
I trusted you with my butterfly knife, drew my raincoat and sister's life. If I was good as gold, you would melt me down, charge me rent on hollow ground. Tattletale, I heard what you did. Keep secret, but you can't keep it. Tattletale committed your crime. Now your friends do time. I move a little bit to keep myself fed. Hat on head, sheet on bed. Tattletale, what did you get paid? Fill the prison that the merchant made. Tattletale, I heard what you did. Keep stitching, but you can't keep it. Tattletale committed your crime. Now your friends do time.
Doing it completely acoustic. We had the orchestra there. These are all students from the McCallum Fine Arts Academy. And then I mixed it in with friends of mine from the Austin Symphony. The acoustic nature of just making it work as if the world ended and we didn't have electricity, you know, we'd still make music together. From the early high school days, you know, I love classical music, and I'm very influenced by it, by obviously the composition, the depth that you can go into. Where can you take these 12 notes that we're given? You know, like you're given 12 notes to deal with, and the great composers show there's so many possibilities of exploring that beyond just one, or you know, what do they say, 3 chords and the truth. You know?
Tell me who will stand, who will hide. You haven't got a thimble full of pride. Singing and dance on the day you died. Friends waiting for you on the other side. Tattletale, you can name your price. Couldn't get enough of your beans and rice. Everglade deeds, UNESCO, Indian treaties and Peter Russell. Tattletale, I heard what you did. Keep stitching, but you can't keep it. Tattletale committed your crime. Now your friends do time.
This world of curiosity of bringing, being able to connect with music that is in the oral tradition, where musicians may not even know what chords they're playing, but they just know it. They know it, that what they're playing is what they want to do. And then the classical music world, where yes, you have the passion, you have all that as well in the classical music world, but you have this rich language of writing and knowing what you're writing, or let's say the craft. There's a craft, like that's codified.
I always knew I was going to be a musician. I always knew I was a singer from very young. I went to college, I majored in music, I minored in theater, but when I got out of college I had no real sense of direction about music. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be in music, but it seemed a safer route to audition for theater projects. And I started getting work in theater. So I had this career as an actor for about 10 years. And at the end of that, only then was I ready to play music full time and entering the song contests and getting out there in the acoustic music community and finding my way, which ended up being the sort of strongest resemblance to what I identify with.
Your eyes in the morning sun, I feel you touch me in the pouring rain, and the moment that you wander far from me, I want to feel you in my arms again, and you come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm
'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me.
I moved to Austin after auditioning a whole bunch of different places. I was ready to really kind of settle down and play music full time. It's just a funny way. In fact, I met Guy not long after I moved to town. I moved in about 2000, and you were playing on the back of the Flipnotics porch. And so I guess loving a lot of styles in a certain way, it kind of makes you wonder what you're supposed to do. I mean, I think we've all felt that a little bit, and so that goes back to when I first got out of college. I didn't really know what my voice was, metaphorically. So it took me living a while to start to find that. It took the life experience and the love and the loss and the extraordinary adventures and all that to finally start writing songs and feel like I had a voice. And fast forward to 2008, when I started playing music with Will. We met sort of officially through his ex-wife, but unofficially, if you're part of the same acoustic music scene, eventually, you're gonna run into each other. So we started hanging out in 2008, and I remember the first track I ever heard from Will's recording catalog. It was from his Joni Mitchell tribute show, and it was Chelsea Morning, his arrangement of Chelsea Morning, which I don't know if you've ever heard it, but it's just mind-blowing. Before the vocal even starts, there's this, like Tattletale, when he does this amazing imaginative journey that sets up the song so beautifully. I remember that so well. I drove around in my car and listened to that track, and really what I think we both love about doing honor to these songs that people already know, is that, like Guy said, you get to hear the song as if for the first time, because this familiar stuff of it gets wiped away. The familiar licks and the falsetto and the pop radio thing, that it all gets sort of wiped away, and you're left with just the treasure of the song and the intention. And then Will drapes his beautiful arrangements over the top of it, and you get this gem that you might not have really listened to that carefully before, and I love that.
I believe in you. You know the door to my very soul. You're the light in my deepest, darkest night. You're my savior when I fall. And you may not think I care for you when you know down inside that I really do. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. How deep is your love?
I think that Will has a really great gift for leading melodies in complicated chord changes that is rich and also evocative, where, you know, it can be stable or unstable in ways that cause emotional reactions, and so your pen is very powerful and emotive.
I started in elementary school here in Austin with the string program here, and there's a great program at UT called the String Project. It's known all over the world, and it's a Suzuki program. So I started in the classical world, but in high school I had a cellist friend who also played electric guitar in the jazz band at high school. And he introduced me to bands like Mahavishnu Orchestra, Captain Beefheart, Thomas Dolby. So we would hang out and, you know, with lots of substances floating around and in his room. And, you know, it was the early days of Austin. This was like 83, 84, and amazing time to be here. So I was exposed to all these other musics, and, you know, why can't you improvise and play rock and roll, jazz, funk, everything on the violin? That's for you know, those were my beginnings, was doing that in high school. Occasionally people like to call me a classical player, and I sometimes a little like, nah, I don't want to like be associated with that. I've grown to like, okay, that's fine, you can do that. If you want, you can call me a classical player. But again, I'm somewhere in the middle, and it's still a continuing journey at this where I am now. You know, same thing I'm sure Guy would say. For me, it's like I'm still kind of finding what my home is, but it's getting more clear, you know, as I age. You know, I get like, okay, this is good. I like this. I think I know what I can do well, and let's celebrate that. Well, I mean, I knew about her through the music scene and Kerrville Folk Festival. She was basically a pretty famous singer there on the Kerrville Folk Festival, which was really intimidating to me when we first got together. You know, I went and hung out with her at Kerrville, and it was like,
That's like him.
it's so funny to be like, yeah, right. And then there were some jam sessions that happened at my ex-wife's house with, you know, Jimmy LaFave and Karen, and with her mandolin, and that was just so beautiful that she walked in a white shining outfit, and it's just like this god. Yeah. And just did these harmonies with Jimmy LaFave and the mandolin, and I was so moved, just the purity of her voice. And then she gave me a couple albums, and I got to hear her Dark-Eyed Sailor album, which is the Celtic recording. So she has similar, she walks in many different areas too. So we kind of share that. We don't just do one thing, Yeah, so the Celtic music blew me away. And then her original, one of her albums called The Space Between. I used to put it up in my room, just look up at her face up there, when I was falling in love with her on the album. And just, oh my gosh.
Aww.
Remember that? Yeah. That was 12 years ago.
Put it back on the wall, Will. Put it back on the wall.
Right on.
But yeah, we connected on,
hilarious.
I was doing early strings attached, and so a lot of the tribute things I did, she knew those songs, so we would get together and we would jam on Joni Mitchell, and then we did some jazz and some swing music, and so we found this, the Venn diagram started to overlap, and okay, yeah, there's some things we could explore here musically, and it was very easy from the beginning. But I remember, just hanging out on the couch. We were doing A Case of You, right? I was playing the guitar, Joni Mitchell's Case of You. We were just pulling that off, and it was powerful.
And then I said, hey, you want to hear how I play guitar on that song?
That's right. Yeah. And she took me to Folk Alliance in Austin. I'd never been to Folk Alliance. That was really a fun experience, and I would just go sit in with her, on her little sets, and walk up, and we'd just make it happen. And it was amazing times.
Of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass, good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away, and all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be with you all. So fill to me the parting glass, Good night and joy be with you all.
And I've been watching you transition to this pandemic live stream, and man, I must say, I am impressed. I've enjoyed watching you. What seems to be elegantly transitioning, which I'm sure has not been the case at home.
It hasn't been that way for you?
Thank you.
It's been easy, right?
Oh, yeah, just
Come on.
a little something to do to pass the hours.
We're not divorced, so that's positive. Did you I know you were already doing videos and you kind of were messing with technology and stuff prior to the pandemic. So I'm curious to see how big of a transition, how difficult has this been for both of you?
As you know, having the gigs just stop abruptly, it's huge. It's a huge thing. On the other hand, because we're home all the time, and that's a real thing, right? Being in each other's pockets 24 hours a day, that's a real thing. And what a beautiful thing to celebrate, that we still like hanging out, we still like making music together. So we said, well, maybe we can recommit to the recording projects that we've been trying to do. So trying to carve out time to record is tough. So here we are at home.
Well, I've been pretty adept at recording and using video for a while. But the adjusting to doing the streaming, there was definitely some hoops there. And you know, when the first month to 6 weeks, you know, we're trying out different platforms, and this just got, you know, bugs in it, and, you know, right before the show is about to go on, you're familiar with it, you're like, it's not working, and yeah, and you're throwing, you know, and you're just, you know, she's
and
like,
then it works, and then you're both mad, and you have to be like,
I know, right, exactly, yeah, I know. I've seen y'all's show, and I'm like, I know they're having the same thing, you know.
Why didn't we sound check sooner?
I know.
Why didn't you get started sooner? Well,
it says, if you're not having a good day, don't do a show. I'm like,
it wasn't nerves, it was just like, almost like anger about the equipment that would, you know, I would just, right?
It's frustrating.
Like,
it's so frustrating
yeah.
to do so much work and to have like 8 cameras set up and then
Right.
all of them crash as you go live, and then you're like, well, we're just going to do it from our cell phone.
Exactly. We just launched into doing a video a week, like real high quality, beautiful audio, everything. So it's like once a week, and start building, you know, and we've been doing that for 7 weeks now, and just starting to build that catalog. So we're going to continue doing that. And, you know, once we get back, we're starting up Strings in the Woods again, and just, you know, really spending time with that. We're producing a Celtic recording. It's Karen's second Celtic, and as a duo this time, with lush string arrangements, you know, like full orchestra, kind of like On the Bridge kind of sound. So we're really excited about that. And I've rediscovered that I really like what I write. I really like the process of creating and writing music, and I'm pretty quick at it. So now, as opposed to, I would just obsess on stuff, you know, 20 years before that, and take forever to write a piece, you know. But now it's so much quicker because we've had the time to just relax and go deep into not just writing, but the whole psychological thing that you play, where you can overanalyze yourself to death, you know.
What's the most recent thing that you've written?
well, the 2020 song.
Just like today.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little about what inspired this one?
We have been more fortunate than so many people in the pandemic. Our life has been really quite beautiful, and it struck me how nature doesn't know that there's a pandemic, and the seasons turn, and the earth spins, and the flowers bloom, and the deer give birth in the spring, and all these things, that the beautiful natural world is still there for us.
I've got blossoms on my tomato plants. I've got possums falling for the traps. We'll have baby chicks tomorrow, just 1 day old, traveling by mail. The cats show up hungry in the morning. The chickens tumble down from their roosts. The spotted fawns play, never straying far from mother's trail. Just like before, just like today, just like before, just like today. And heavy in the air is the pain and loss of so many. But spring still blooms and life goes on. 2020. The sun still rises from the dead of night as we spin slowly through her light. The moon spins too, changing clothes in cycles like before, just like before, just like today, just like before, just like today. But heavy in the air is the loneliness of so many. But summer's here and life goes on. 2020. Now we order our groceries and packages. We stay away from restaurants and stores, surrendering to the uncertainty and still wondering what all this loneliness is for. We keep the faith, we live our lives like Groundhog Day. And we know the present moment is all we ever really have anyway. We watch our children grow. We tell them what we know. We hope our parents get to stay with us for many years more, just like before. Just like today, just like tomorrow, just like today. And heavy in the air is the restless fear of so many. But November's coming and life goes on. 2020.
Feeling so fortunate in my life, but also wanting to acknowledge that there are people who are legitimately and genuinely suffering. And I wanted to honor them too, but also kind of, sneak in a message to people saying, hey, all we all really want is for our loved ones to be happy and healthy.
I think that, and I think that that's a message that people can obviously benefit from. And the best way to teach something is by living it, showing rather than telling.
Do you have a latest thing that you worked on, Will? Do you have a composition you put together recently you'd like to talk about?
I have a lot in progress that I'm putting together in this book. The thing is just collecting everything that I've written in the last 30 years that's on a record, and I want to be able to, like, for musicians to be able to look at that music, and download that. So it's a lot. It's probably about 40 pieces if I put it all together for over the last 30 years that are on various albums. So
we'll wrap it up now. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add? Is there anything that you'd like to put out into the world?
We think you guys are amazing, and we adore you, and it's been so fun chatting with you, and we love watching you perform together. It's such a treat, and thank you so much.
Yep, it's been great.
That's what I have to add.
Thanks for including us. This was
Thank
great.
you for your time today.
Yeah, this has been great, and then I just want to do a whole bunch of stuff with y'all now.
Let's do it.
Yay!
Oh, and I know you have your weekly video. I do the weekly TV show, and it is a time suck, so I understand if the answer is no, but I would love it if we could figure out a song that we could do remotely and then put together to have on the show. I think that'd be really cool.
This is a song wrote with Brian Keane. And I'd like to send this out, as always, to Stephen Bruton, a great musician who left the world better than he found it. I only want the things that matter. I only want things that you can't share. Don't give me diamond rings, all those so-called finer things. They don't matter when they are not there. I don't need more clothes if I'm not freezing. And I don't want the love that I can't feel. I can't use a pretty light just to help me pass my time. Love only matters when it's real. I only want the things that matter. I only want things that you can share. Don't give me diamond rings, all those so-called finer things. They don't matter when they are not there. Well, I met a man who made $1 million, built himself a mansion up on high, and he worked hard every day until his strength passed him away, and now he sits and watches others pass him by. I only want the things that matter. I only want things that you can't share. Don't give me diamond rings, all the so-called finer things. They don't matter when they are not there. So I gave my girl a watch that shined with diamonds, prettiest watch you would ever find. She left it in the drawer, she walked right out my door. Turns out she was mine. I only want the things that matter. I only want things that you can't share. Don't give me diamond rings, all those so-called finer things. don't matter when they are not there. Have yourself some fun. Now I know you can tell I'm not a rich man. Expect you know that I'm not a rich man's son. You should run and play, gather roses while you may, and buy your time back when it's done. I only want the things that matter. I only want things that you can share. Oh, give me diamond rings, all the so-called fine things. They don't matter when they are not there. Oh, they don't matter when they are not
Thanks, Guy, Jessica. Bye, everyone.
Mosquitoes all over you.
Yep. That's fine. Great.
So this is a song that I wrote for Jack Kerouac's birthday. Jack Kerouac was one of the beat poets and wrote a fabulous classic of American literature entitled On the Road. He was a beat poet. Beat poets were a group of poets who were exemplified by a spirit right after World War II, where servicemen coming back from World War II who had seen the world realized that there was more to the world than what they had seen in their own hometowns, and they wanted to find out what was going on in the world around them, and so they took to the road to see the world. So this is for Jack Kerouac. When I'm out riding on the dark highway, I get a feeling inside, throw all that I have away. And I'll leave all this behind me, like that job I had in the day, all the black dresses, soul testing lovers and liars, speeding tickets I never paid. Believe in love at first sight? As a matter of fact, I do. Every time that I open my eyes, that saying comes true. I see you in the laundromat, black Irish washerwoman in a funeral hat, Italian ballerina on an asphalt stage, bleached blonde poet of a Victorian age. America, where goes thou with thy shining car at night? Children of Jack, we will never turn back as we ride away in the night. And if I were to take you by force, carry you away back to my bedroom, just for music to play, and I play you the songs that I've written, the ones that I can't seem to write. Maybe you know what you're missing, maybe you'd stay past the night. America, where goes thou with thy shining car at night? Children of Jack, we will never turn back as we ride away in the night. Oh, my father, he built me this backpack, just an inch or two big for real. I'll pack my guitar, the smoke from this bar, my songs and one hot meal. And I'll ride to the west, chasing sunsets like gold. Dawn I will ride to the east. I'll find all the friends that I've lost on the road. Maybe then I'll know me some peace. America, where goes thou with thy shining car at night? Children of Jack, we will never turn back as we ride away in the night. Oh, there's so much more to this wonderful world than we are sold on TV. So tell me, if you are not already dead, you'll come and live it with me. Leave your college plans, your one-night stands, business clothes and the rest. Oh, there's pleasure enough in your heart and your hands. Blue jeans suit you best. America, where goes thou with thy shining car at night? Children of Jack, we will never turn back as we ride away in the night. Children of Jack, we will never turn back as we ride away in the
Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows along the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme all along the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower by yon clear and crystal fountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme all along the blooming heather. my true love won't come with me, I will surely find another to pull a wild mountain thyme. All along the blooming heather will you go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to pull a wild mountain thyme. All along the blooming heather will you go, lassie, go.
What? Hey, Karen. Check it out. Look who's here.
Oh, hey, friends.
What do you think they're doing here?
Hi.
Did you just finish watching the video?
Yeah, that was Wild Mountain Thyme, wasn't it? Traditional Scottish folk song. We did not write that.
She's the expert.
It's been around for a while.
Like 200 years.
Beautiful, traditional, amazing folk song about tramping through the mountains.
Tell us about it, Karen.
Picking beautiful purple flowers and inviting your sweet loved one to accompany you.
Yes, as a matter of fact, this is the first single off of A Sailor Returns to the Sea. It's going to be our new Celtic Fusion recording.
Celtic
We're so excited about Celtic Fusion.
What do you think about that term? I think Will made it up. But we've been working on this record for a year and a half.
Look at that light.
We've been working on this record for a year and a half, and we are recently...
There. Yeah.
Over there?
Yeah, okay. So how long are we working on it? Keep going. This is supposed to be funny.
We've been working on this record for a year and a half, and finally we have some time, and we're dedicated to finishing this album. We think it's going to be really beautiful, and we need your help.
Can't do it without you. Patrons make music happen, as they say. And you can become a patron below. There's the link, patreon.com/Will Taylor. Our first single is out. It's available on Spotify. Wild Mountain Thyme. Come see us every Tuesday. We're so glad for the patrons that have signed up. We have about 50 of you now, but we want you to sign up and support what we're doing here in Austin, Texas, and Karen's wonderful vocals.
And Will's wonderful string arrangement.
We'll see you at the next video. We release one every week, and we love every one of you. Take care.
Thank you. Stay
Bye
safe.
for now. I'm gonna finish the dishes.
Oh, yay!
Karen
Hooray!
loves it. That's the one thing.
That's
She's like,
such
if
good
I can
news.
do the dishes,
Good
then
news, yeah.
I'll be successful in this
Oh,
relationship.
that's right.
So let's go back. Alright. There you go.
Hey guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, have a good break. That's what I'm going for too.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
look forward to the song. Send it on over.
Well.
Get it.
Okay, awesome.
They say that Richard Corey owns a half of this whole town with political connections. He spread his wealth around, born into society, a banker's only son. He had everything a man could want: power, wealth, and style. But I work in his factory, and I curse the life I'm living, and I curse my poverty, and I wish that I could be, yeah, I wish that I could be, yeah, I wish that I could be Richard Corey. Well, the papers print his picture almost everywhere he goes. Richard Corey at the opera, Richard Corey at a show. of his parties and the orgies on his yacht. Yeah, surely must be happy with everything he's got. But I work in his factory, and I curse the life I'm living, and I curse my poverty, and I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be, yeah, I wish that I could be Richard Cory. He freely gave to charity, he had the common touch, and they were grateful for his patronage, and they thanked him very much. So my mind was filled with wonder when the evening headlines read, Richard Cory went home last night and put a bullet in his head. But I work in his factory, and I curse the life I'm living, and I curse my poverty. And I wish that I could be, yeah, I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be Richard Cory.